back to Naira's Spouse. Hello! Today is a magical day because I got some magical books, some new magical books to talk about. It's also Halloween when I'm filming this, so I think there's an extra layer of just magic in the air right now. Kind of spooky magic going on. Today's video is so kindly sponsored by Penguin Teen. I am just, I'm so excited I finally get to announce this because it is officially like the time in which I'm allowed to announce this. I am partnering with Penguin Teen. I am going to be one of the hosts for their brand new readathon, which is called Fall into Fantasy. You guys know fantasy is my favorite genre, so the fact that Penguin Teen created a readathon that's just all about fantasy books is just amazing. This readathon will take place between November 18th and November 25th. So during hopefully most of your guys' fall break, if you guys get like a fall or Thanksgiving break. It is a week-long readathon, and every day there will be a different challenge. Actually, I think there's 8 challenges, which I'll go through the list and share with you now. Yeah, it's all about just reading more fantasy books and just kind of highlighting some new fantasy books that are gonna be coming out. Penguin Teen was so kind to send me a box of all the different books that are gonna be featured during that week. They're all fantasy books. They're all new fantasy books coming out this fall, so you can definitely check them out. There'll be a link down below to the Penguin Teen website where you guys can see all of these books as well as all the challenges for the readathon. But yes, I'm quickly going to go over all the readathon challenges, and some of these challenges I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Main goal is to finish at least 4 fantasy books, and if you can also kind of tick off any of these challenges, that's just bonus points, brownie points. Challenge number 1 is to read a new fantasy book. So any new fantasy book, any of the ones I'm going to be mentioning in a second are all brand new fantasy books, so you can pick those ones up. Challenge number 2 is to read a sequel to a fantasy book, which this one I will definitely absolutely be doing because I don't know about you guys, but I have so many series that I've started but haven't finished. Number 3 is to read a diverse fantasy book. Challenge number 4 is to read a fantasy book with multiple POVs. Challenge number 5 is to read an LGBTQ fantasy book. Challenge number 6 is to read a book that's been on your TBR for way too long, which, you know, I have a lot of those books on my shelf. Challenge number 7 is to read a new series, so anything that's new to you or something that you maybe just recently heard of or a new series that recently came out. And the last challenge is to read a book that was recommended to you by BookTube. This can be any book you maybe heard of on YouTube or just like BookTube, Bookstagram, any of that online. Those are all the challenges for the readathon. Once again, it's gonna be from the 18th to the 25th, and I'm so excited. That's not too far away. By the time you're watching this, it'll be November 1st, so you have plenty of time to put together your TBR and just like think about whether or not you want to participate. But like I said, I'll be participating, so if you use the hashtag Fall into Fantasy, I will be stalking some of you guys and seeing what you're reading, and yeah, it's just gonna be a wonderful week. Lots of really cool authors featured. Without further ado, let us get into unboxing this box that Penguin sent me with all of these new fantasy books. First book in here is actually the first 2 books in here are books that I will be reading for the readathon. For this readathon, all the hosts were matched up with a author that's gonna be featured during the week. So the author that I'm gonna be featuring and I will be reading these 2 books for the readathon, Tochi's books, which I have the hardcover, Beast Made of Night, and I have been wanting to read this fantasy book forever. But yes, they sent me the first book as well as the second book, and I'm so excited because these books were inspired by Nigeria or Nigerian culture a little bit, at least that's what it says in the back. So basically, it takes place in this fantasy world in which when people sin, there are people that actually can remove the sin from them by turning their sin into some sort of beast or creature. So imagine you commit a crime or do something bad. There's this sort of magic person that comes in and takes and removes the sin from you. When you remove the sin from you, it becomes like a physical being, a beast, that there's then these other magical people that come and slay those beasts. When these magical people go and kill these beasts, it's like they suddenly get the memory of whatever the sin was that that person committed, which is crazy, right? So imagine, like, you know, having the memory of you, I don't know, like killing someone or like stealing something, even though it wasn't you, it was like someone else that you're kind of taking on that guilt and that sin for. It sounds so cool, and I'm just really excited to jump into these books. Like I said, I'll be reading this during the readathon, and this checks off like the sequel challenge as well as, well, this is a new fantasy book for me, so maybe that challenge as well. Okay, so this next book was actually been on my list, The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Carpetta. This book is described as sort of like a gender bender, and I believe this book would fall under the LGBT LGBTQ plus reading challenge too. I think so. This book basically follows our main character, who she is a shapeshifter, and she can not only shapeshift herself but shapeshift other people, which is really cool because usually like with books that have to do with shapeshifting, it's always just the main character or the person with the ability that can shapeshift, but she can transform other people as well. She meets someone who has the ability also to shapeshift between boy and girl, which is really kind of where like the gender bending comes in, and our main character learns to shift between male and female, and then this sort of really changes her perspective on like gender. Our main character ends up having to go on a journey and adventure. Instead of pretending to be a boy, like dressing up as a boy, she actually has to shapeshift into a boy and live as a boy and experience that, which is so cool. Next book I got is Forest of 1,000 Lanterns by Julie C. Dow, and they also sent me the new sequel, which is Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix. I'm not gonna read the synopsis for this one because I haven't read the first book, so I don't want to spoil myself. The covers, can we take a second to just admire them? Like this one specifically, the color scheme, I love it, I love it. This book follows our main character, who is a peasant girl living in a village, but it has been prophesized that she could be the next empress if she embraces this sort of dark magic or dark power that she has. The synopsis doesn't say what her ability is, which just makes me want to read it more because I want to know what this dark power is. But if she is able to embrace this sort of darkness within her, then she might become the empress of Fanglu, and so it just sounds really cool. It also says here that she has a lover, which I wish I had a lover now. In order to become empress, she also has to let go of the person that she loves, and it just sounds like it's going to be a really sort of like dark magic filled fantasy book, and I'm so excited. Marie Lu blurbed it in the back. And the last book that they sent me here is Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis, and this book has to do with alchemy, which I absolutely love. This book follows our main character Nedra, and she leaves her, it says Lunar Island, so I'm guessing she's from an island, which I'm from an island too. Hey girl, hey. She leaves her home to attend this prestigious academy to learn how to do medicinal alchemy, which kind of sounds like magic medicine healing. Everyone at the school is very wealthy, you know, comes from very wealthy families, and so it's, you know, scary for her to be like going and attending this school. At this school, she meets someone and there's a little bit of romance there, but mainly the plot has to do with sort of this plague and this sickness sweeping over her lands and her really wanting to just learn medicine in order to heal other people. But as the plague gets worse and as people start dying, she gets into a type of magic slash medicine that no one has really touched because it's considered sort of dark magic, and that is necromancy, or bringing people back from the dead. Okay, those are all of the books that I received, but before I go, the last book in one of my favorite series of all time, the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. It has been, what, 6 years coming, 7 years coming now, and this final book is here. I have just been looking at it, and I haven't been able to bring myself to read it yet, even though it's been out for like, what, 4 days now? I think 5 days. But yeah, my pre-order came in the mail, and this beautiful fantasy book is just, I'm not ready for this series to be over yet, you guys. I also still have not read Tower of Dawn, which is the novella slash not really a novella slash a giant novella. I just wanted to share with you guys that I did get my copy, my pre-order arrived, I am fangirling, I am dying. Also, I was gonna ask you guys if you guys think, for anyone who's a fan of this series, if you think I should just skip Tower of Dawn and just go straight to Kingdom of Ash, or if you think that I really need to read Tower of Dawn before I get into this book. Yeah, I'm debating on whether or not just to like dive right into it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much to Penguin Team for these wonderful books. I will have more videos about the Read-a-thon coming up, and I will be posting about it on Instagram as well, so you can follow me there for updates. Till next time, keep reading, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.